start of the Big Ten season. It seems so early for it, but you got to get right into it. Based on last year, we had a slow start. How important is it to get going this year?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Big Ten, right? It's the best league in the country for a reason. And obviously, we're going to play one of the best teams in the country, and we know we got to be at our best. And when you're talking second weekend of the year, that's certainly asking a lot. But I'm excited to get on the road. I think our team's excited to get on the road and another chance to be together, and it'll be fun to see what we have.
Yeah, what about that being on the road? You talked about that, the bonding that can be involved in that.
Yeah, I think it's really important, and again, I think our guys, the long stretch they had where it was just us and a certain amount of hours a week, and then they finally get to play, and now at least we get to get on the road and be together and all that. I think that's really important. It's it's just as big off the ice together with your team as it is on the ice.
And last weekend, you got to play a lot of guys. Is it still, for lack of a better word, still an experimental stage of who's playing and who's not playing?
Yeah.
You kind of have some set lineup.
No, yeah, I think you hit it on the head. I mean, we have every guy in that locker room can play. We brought him here for a reason, and I think that's why we've had some pretty spirited practices and some really good competition in practice, and I think that's going to force guys to be better. So I think that's a good thing.
So obviously, the last time you guys were in Madison, you knocked off Wisconsin. You became the first 7 seed to ever win a series in the Big Ten tournament. I wanted to ask you what worked well for you guys in those quarterfinals last year, and maybe something you look to bring from last year into this year to find success against the Badgers.
Yeah, well, I think we were playing our best hockey certainly at that point. We had a lot of buy-in. I think we were very disciplined. From our structure end to taking penalties, which I think correlates to success. And, when you're playing one of the best teams in the country, that's what you got to dial up. So hopefully we can kind of think about that. They're a different personality with their team this year, same with us. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
And obviously now the second year for Mike Hastings over there, you guys saw as much of them as anybody. Ended up playing them 7 times throughout the regular season, including the tournament. I wanted to ask maybe what changes or what brand of hockey you kind of noticed that he brought to Wisconsin.
Well, I mean, everybody has a different way of going about it, and Mike's had a ton of success in his career. Just look at his track record. We know his teams are going to compete from the drop of the puck, and you got to be ready, and certainly we talk a lot about that. So, there's success here for a reason, and we got to match their spirit. We got to match their compete, and that's what we've talked about.
Thanks, Coach.
In terms of the penalties, last Saturday particularly had a lot of penalties there in the second, third period. When you look back at them, were there some acceptable in terms of they may prevent a goal, something more? How do you review each of the penalties?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. I wasn't happy, especially with the last couple. When you're up a couple goals and 5 minutes to go in a game, you don't need to put yourself in any kind of situation to take penalties, and especially one in the offensive end and one, obviously with a cross check to the face. I mean, hey, if any of those are called a 5-minute major, that whole game could have turned around in a heartbeat. So that's called discipline, and that's called understanding, what you need to do, and that's part of us growing up. I mean, you don't take penalties there, you're probably in a pretty good spot. You take 2 and you're hanging on a little bit. So it was a big part of our discussion this week.
Big Ten play, what does that mean to you?
It's an exciting time of year, of course. Just dying to get right to it. Playing out of the conference is fun, of course, too, but playing in our conference and playing for some standings is important to us.
Is there a different feel to these games?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like any other game, but at the end of the day, we're playing for some points and some rankings. So this team's a ranked team, and we obviously want to get there too.
What'd you take away from last weekend as a team?
I mean, we stuck together. We no quit attitude from us. I felt like we had a tough showing on Friday night, and I think we really turned it around and made each other better on Saturday.
How are you feeling personally coming off of last season, the end of season?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm getting back into the swing of things, of course, and just a little learning curve for me, trying to deal with all the rehab and stuff like that. But I feel really good and excited to get going more.
I only have one for you, Joe. I just wanted to ask, what were some areas of Ohio State hockey that were present down the stretch last season that must continue this year for you guys to have a successful early portion of the year?
I feel like our buy-in was really important last year, especially towards the end. The whole team was bought in. Special teams, of course, coming up big, especially penalty kill. We're in a tough conference. Power plays are really good, so when we got a good penalty kill, it really is going to help our team.
Seem to be coming in as a transfer and being named one of the captains.
It's obviously a huge honor. Not something I really saw coming or they were in my cards, but obviously very honored and privileged to do it, and want to do it to the best of my ability.
What do you think of your first weekend, the team last weekend, and how they can prepare for Wisconsin?
Yeah, obviously early in the year we got to work on some things, and that stuff will come. I've no doubt about it, but I think we got to work on our D zone a bit going into Wisconsin. They're a dangerous offensive team, so got to work on that kind of stuff and make sure we shut them down.
Aiden, I just wanted to ask, one scrimmage, 2 games into the season, what has gone right so far for Ohio State?
I think our puck movement and our speed have been 2 crucial parts of our success so far. Obviously, we want to start winning games not in overtime or shootouts, but we want to keep using our speed. I think we're a good team and a dangerous team when we're playing fast. So,
Big road test in Madison this weekend. How important is it for you guys to have a good showing against a nationally ranked team within the conference?
yeah, I think it starts with our start. Kind of a couple slow starts last weekend, and they're obviously going to come out flying, and we got to match their intensity and their speed early.